Two cities represented in comic form, Tel Aviv and Berlin, a very special travel journal. Arts.21 meets the artists who created it.
Capturing both Tel Aviv and Berlin in one book is no easy task, even for cartoonists. Berliners Jan Feind and Henning Wagenbrett are setting off for Tel Aviv. And Rutu Modan and Jeremy Pincus from Tel Aviv are underway in Berlin. For a German-Israeli project, these artists were chosen to record their personal experiences on 2 pages each of cartoons. Jan Feind has lived in both cities. His love story begins on the beach in Tel Aviv.
This is where the love story begins. They meet and get to know each other. And that's where the story really gets going.
A German man and an Israeli woman fall in love.
Of course, it does have a few autobiographical elements. I came here and fell in love too. Now I'm married and have 2 children. So somehow, I think it's been a possibility for a long time that at some point I'd pick up on that in a story.
The story continues in Berlin. Tel Aviv-born Jeremy Pincus also feels at home in both cities. In Berlin, he creates portraits of celebrities, such as German fashion designer Michael Michalsky.
Why did you come here?
To Berlin? Because I think it's the coolest city around right now. The coolest. It's the way New York was in the 1980s. It's a melting pot. A really international, cool city.
Ist eine wirklich internationale, coole Stadt.
How has Berlin influenced your work?
Before World War II, there was a lively design and fashion scene in Berlin. It was destroyed by the Nazis, and I want to connect to that a bit.
Pincus thinks people like Michalsky embody the city's new rhythm.
A photograph is something that captures what's happened at a particular moment, and comics, illustrations and things like that capture more than that moment.
When Rutu Modan set off for Berlin, she didn't know what awaited her. Then she stumbled across the heroine of her youth, the socialist Rosa Luxemburg.
I had few women heroes and heroines. Rosa Luxemburg, because she was a fighter, you know, she was fighting for justice. And I totally forgot about it until I came to Berlin. And then I saw her name on Rosa Luxemburg station. I don't know if I even knew that she was German. And I like the way she looks, her nose, she's a one, and her hairstyle, it's beautiful to draw her figure. So I decided that my project will be about searching for Rosa Luxemburg in Berlin.
Modan's genuinely personal viewpoint is more interesting than any history book. Tel Aviv and Berlin have gotten used to confronting their interlinked histories.
When you talk about Berlin and Tel Aviv, you can't do so without looking back to the past or forward into the future.
Wagenbrett illustrates the madness of the history that weighs upon Tel Aviv and Berlin by combining the past and present in one picture. Everything happens simultaneously.
In Berlin, we've just celebrated the anniversary of the fall of the wall. And now, for the first time, I've seen the wall that's being built here. You could almost imagine the pieces of wall that had been dismantled in Berlin being brought here to be built again. It's interesting in cartooning that you can draw a dome, and it's not clear at first whether it's a synagogue or the Reichstag. But then you write Dem Deutschen Volke on it. Of course, it's the Reichstag.
Jan Feint's love story begins in Tel Aviv and ends in Berlin's Mauerpark, where the wall once stood. In the new hip Berlin, you meet people from all over the world, including Tel Aviv.
Half my friends are Israelis, and they're all here for all sorts of reasons, not to come to terms with history in the past. In the same way, there are lots of Germans in Tel Aviv right now, and they also live there because it's a really cool city.
These personal stories provide plenty of reason to explore or rediscover both cities, Tel Aviv and Berlin.